Alright, so I've been working extremely hard on getting some stuff to work. Anyway, things that I've been doing. There's this red circle right here, and if I go up to someone, it brings up little interactions and whatnot. So I'm just going to go over to the back here. This is what started it all. Say I'm a cop, right? Just like I am. So you can see if I activate that, it immediately tells the person to surrender. Now, before, oh yeah, I don't have any. Oh. Anyway. Before, you tell them, surrender, blah, blah, blah. And then in order to let them free, you'd have to take them prisoner. And then you'd have to, I can get it, free prisoner. And then they just run off or whatever. But you go back up to them.
Put your hands where I can see them. I swear you are all going to pay for this.
He's surrendered again. And that's what you had to do. Or you go into Zeus or whatever. So what I did was in this menu, I created an action called free to go. If I click that, he's not surrendering anymore. Oh, I disabled his movement. But anyway. I wonder if this will work. Anyway. So yeah, it just worked. I disabled his movement, but anyway. The other thing that I was working on for this particular scenario, actually, let me just show you that real quick. So as you can see, I have a shotgun right there. And I'm going to spawn in, and everything gets removed. If I check my inventory, the only thing I have is a uniform. So I'm going to run inside. Got a little guy sitting there. I'm going to open up the store. I go right here. Got some guys. So as you can see, there's a pistol. If I bring up that interaction with it, I go to interactions and I can select arm with default. Now, as you can see, I have a uniform, I have a vest with ammo, I have my pistol, I have my hat, I have my glasses, map, GPS, radio, all that good stuff. I haven't done anything with that one yet, but if I go over to the shotgun, arm with vest and shotgun. Now, I have a better vest, as you can see, a shotgun with ammo, two different types, some grenades, flashbang and a concussion grenade, just do this real quick. And let's go into the garage. So as you can see here, got choices of vehicles. And in this game, if you go up to the vehicle, you can see its inventory. And in its inventory, I have a shotgun, vest, all that good stuff. However, when you pull up somewhere, say there's a robbery in progress and they are armed and your pistol's just not going to be enough, you'd have to get out of the car, go to its inventory, drag and drop all this stuff over, and it just takes forever. So what I did was I made an interaction, and it just instantly gives you all that stuff. And then you can go back to your normal street clothes when you're done with that shootout. So let's go outside real quick. Other thing that I've been working on is, say you are in a firefight and you need backup from like SWAT, and you don't have any of the equipment for that. Let me just go over here real quick. What I added to the self menu was call for SWAT. This isn't there by default. None of the things that I showed you are there by default. So I'm just going to call for SWAT. As you can see, it spawned in a SWAT vehicle. Now it's going to move in. And when it gets here, if it's within a 5-foot radius of me, the driver will be deleted like that. So he's gone. And I can get in this vehicle. If I added an interaction to it, which I plan on, I can get the SWAT loadout. However, say you're done, you no longer need this, you want to go back to your squad car, whatever. If this vehicle is out or outside of a 12.5-foot radius, it will despawn. So let me just do that again. Let's call for SWAT. There it goes. Vehicle is spawned. It's going to always drive to my position if it doesn't get stuck on a gas station thing. So here it comes. And it's going to stuck again. That's fine. I don't care. He gets deleted. I'm going to go back. And it should despawn. There we go. To do all of this, this is what I had to do. This is the init SQF, or initialization of the code or whatever. So I have my variables up here, player. This right here, this is to add to that interaction menu that I showed you. So free to go. I don't have an icon for it, which would be nice. But anyway, this is the code to add to the action. So when you create the action, it's got to do something. So this is what it's going to do. The target, what I'm looking at, or whatever the target is, false, set surrendered is true, or sorry, the code is I am making them not surrender by making this false. If it was true, I'd make them surrender right away. So the false set surrendered and that statement's going to be true. So I want them to be unsurrendered, and I want it to be true. And then I call that interaction. The other thing is the loadout. So arm with default loadout, that's with your pistol and whatnot, and it's going to execute my SQF file called regular cop.sqf, and that's going to be true. The regular cop SQF looks like this. Variable, of course. What I do is I remove all the gear, then I add what I want. So I add first aid kits and cable ties to the uniform. These are items that get assigned to the player, like a map, compass, watch, radio, GPS. These magazines are added to the vest, and this is the weapon. When the player is spawned in, there are two files on respawn, and if the player is local, I believe that's what that means. I haven't really fleshed all that stuff out. But anyway, again, we're going to remove everything, including the uniform. So they're naked until this uniform is added. So the unit, which is the player, add uniform, this uniform, and then this right here is the ability to enter the police station. So I have to set a variable as a cop. Anyway, so those are the same thing. But yeah, this right here, add shotgun or equip shotgun and vest. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's going to execute the vest and shotgun SQF, which is this right here. Again, remove all the stuff, add all the stuff, and then swap back up. This one was a pain in the butt. It's going to execute this SQF. I'll go over that in a little bit. This right here, add free to go to interact menu. So the class is in this first one. So every man or whatever class they fall under, if it's a man, 0 means it's going to be on external, 1 would be internal. So 0 is external. It's going to be on the main actions. It's going to add this whole thing. It's going to be true, and then it's going to add the action to class. And that gives me the ability to interact with units that have surrendered and let them go after I see that they are not hostile, whatever. This right here, this is going to add the arm with default loadout. I said arm with pistol, but anyway. This is the ability, or this is adding it to the pistol that was upstairs in the weapon room. So I had to get the class name of the weapon, which is right there. Again, 0 because it's external. I'm going to add it to the main actions, and this is going to run. It's going to be true. Oop. Whatever. Same thing for that. For the police, all I had to do, or for the cars, to add the interaction, I just had to figure out what their class name was. Like this one's Crown Vic, this one's Explorer. Still going to add whatever. That's for the pistol. This is for the shotgun. And then this right here, this is different. So to add the call for swap back up to the self-interact menu, it had to be a type of unit. which is player. One, which is internal or self action. Of course, it's going to be on the ace self action. It's going to call this code right here. It's going to be true. And yeah, so this right here, this exec VM SQF file, that is this right here. So got a couple variables spread throughout. Unit's going to be player. Get player position is going to be get pose underscore unit, which is the player. Then I'm going to create the vehicle. So I had to create a variable called spawn. That's going to equal create vehicle. This is the vehicle I wanted. These are the coordinates that I wanted. Didn't need anything in there. Forgot what that was and forgot what that was. But anyway, now I have to set a variable name because if I just spawn it in, I can't really do much with it because I don't know the name of it. So the vehicle that I just created, I'm going to set the vehicle variable name to SWAT. And then I'm going to say SWAT equals spawn, which is that right there. And then I need to create someone to drive it. So I'm going to create vehicle crew. That's going to be on this creation right here. And then when it spawns, it's going to have a command to move to my location. So I'm going to say SWAT, which is what I called the vehicle. Say command move, and then I want it to move to my location or near it. So it's going to call this variable to get my position, and it's going to go. And then if I didn't have wait until, and this ran right here, the crew member would automatically, like right away, delete itself. So I have wait until SWAT, which is the vehicle, is in the area of the player within diameter. So the center point of this in area is the player, and the diameter around this player, or diameter, anyway, x is, or this right here would be divided by 2. So this is the diameter of the circle that's around me. This is I think the z-axis, but anyway, false means that it's going to be a circle instead of a square. Square would be true. But anyway, it's going to wait until the vehicle is within a 5-foot radius, and then it's going to say, cool, I'm going to go on to the next one, which is to delete the crew. Then the next one is to delete the vehicle when outside of 12.5 feet. This one took me a while to get, and it was only that right there. So with wait until, it must return a bool, or true and false. So if the vehicle is in the area of a 12.5 foot radius, it's going to exit with false. I honestly don't even remember. I just know that I got it to work. So, exit with false. I don't. Oh, okay. So if it's... So this is a true statement. So if it's true, exit with false. And then delete the vehicle. True? I don't remember. All I know is that it took me forever, and I got it, and there's still more to come. But yeah, that's what I've been dealing with.